Oh, yes. There's that classic MMA fighting weigh-in music. Everyone just tuning in now, everyone watching, you know what that means. It is time for the UFC 285. Welcoming you to the stream. Very excited today. We have 14 fights, 28 fighters weighing in. Jon Jones, you guys might have heard, is coming back. Ciryl Gane, you might have heard, is fighting in the main event. And we have the best crew possible to bring these weigh-ins to you on site, of course, as always. Jose Youngs, you will not see him, but he is the man bringing you this footage, bringing you these wonderful,
never
surely not dramatic weigh-ins. Hello, Jose. And then the man in the truck, the best in the business, Casey Light.
All right, orchestra, turn it down, orchestra.
Yeah. Just tell the band to. Fantastic work by the band as always. Really fantastic stuff. But we are minutes away from our first weigh-ins. I am. Well, I'll ask Jose as always for the scoop. Jose, do you see anything that can tip off who might be our first people to weigh in?
I saw about 7 minutes ago. I saw DDP talking to Anik off to the left, who's saying the weight cut was easy.
Evan Dallas Page.
Yes, correct. So I'm assuming that Dricus du Plessis will be close to the front, but I don't know who's. Yes. You and AK said the same. I got someone named Marc-André sitting next to me. I said DDP, and if you know anything about him, his ears literally started to move.
Listen, Diamond Dallas Page had a late start to his wrestling career, and if he wants to get into MMA too, I wouldn't bet against him. That yoga is keeping him, it's preserving him.
Sure.
But no, yeah, we could have. So Cornose could have Dricus du Plessis sooner rather than later. I am imagining we will see the headliners, the championship headliners, Jones and Gane, and also Shevchenko and Grasso somewhere in the first 15 minutes. It would really surprise me if there was a long wait for any of them. No. Am I out to lunch here? You think Jon Jones might milk it a little bit?
Jon Jones, I think he's either 901 or 1059. There's no in between.
Oh, he's either first or we're gonna be sweating.
Or we're gonna sweat it, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go closer to 901. I think he's want to come out and make a statement. You know, everyone's been talking about how he's gonna look at heavyweight. Talking about his.
Wait. Is the statement that he wakes up early? What's the statement here?
Is that I'm on weight? I wake up early. I'm a big boy. I'm on weight. The GOAT is back. I don't know, whatever cliche you guys want to throw out there, but I do think he's trying to look like he's on his best behavior.
247.
Oh, is that a guess for how much he'll weigh, Jose?
Oh no, someone asked. We were talking about Jon Jones' last fight.
Mm-hmm.
I said 247.
Oh, okay.
UFC 247.
UFC 247. Yeah. Well, let's guess the weight, though. Let's guess the weight, Jose. What do you think Jon Jones will come in at today?
243.
243. Very specific. Casey.
You're funny. You're funny, Marc-André.
Which UFC did he fight Gustafsson the second time?
232.
Wasn't that in your hood, Casey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
232.
232. Correct, Jose.
Yeah. That's too loud. Oh, I got cereal in my throat. Hold on.
You got Ciryl in your throat? Oh wait, hold on. It's too early for that.
No, cereal. Jeez.
Yeah. No, I heard you.
Jeez, I have to edit that out now.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Demonetized. Didn't Jon Jones call him? Jon Jones has been struggling with pronouncing people's names this week. I will say, he was running off all this path like heavyweights and just not even coming. Like I think Tuivasa keeps calling him like Tutivasa.
He said,
which is a great name. Tutivasa, yeah, Tutivasa.
He also said Daniel Cormier outworked Francis Ngannou. I'm like, when?
All right, we are.
Okay.
There we go.
UFC 285 Jones versus Gane, and we will begin with a first-time UFC title challenger in the flyweight division, the number 6 ranked contender, Mexico's Alexa Grasso.
Alexa Grasso, there we go. 1/2 coming up.
$124.5, the official weight for Alexa Grasso.
124.5 for Alexa Grasso. She just looks so much better in this division when she was
Next
trying to
to
fight
the
at
scale,
super.
making an 8th defense of her UFC flyweight championship, Valentina Shevchenko.
No surprise, here comes the champ.
See the ladies making a statement, showing up on time.
One 24.5, the official weight for Valentina Shevchenko. Your co-headliner at UFC 285 is official.
Valentina Shevchenko also 124.5, and that flyweight championship co-main event is official.
The middleweight division still celebrating his Kansas City Chiefs. The official price is Julian Marquez.
Julian Marquez getting in early. All right, just right after the championship
Official
co-main
weight
event.
186 for Julian Marquez.
186 for Julian Marquez.
The former Glory MMA fighter.
All right, next fighter to weigh in, kicking off the pay-per-view main card, the middleweight division, Jamie Pickett.
Jamie Pickett, the biggest underdog on this card.
186 for Mr. Pickett.
186 for Jamie Pickett.
All right, next athlete to weigh in. She is ranked in 2 divisions, but competing at flyweight here tomorrow night, Amanda Ribas.
Amanda Ribas, 2-division threat. Here she comes. This is for weighing in at the 125 limit.
126, the official weight for Amanda Ribas.
126 for Amanda Ribas.
All right, next athlete to the stage, competing in the UFC strawweight division, Tabitha Gane Sharp Ricci.
Tabitha Ricci coming up now. NA.
115.5 for Tabitha Ricci.
115.5 for Tabitha Ricci. No issue there.
All right, next fighter to weigh in, top 10 now in the UFC's middleweight division, Dricus du Plessis.
DDP, Dricus du Plessis coming up.
$185 for the South African Dricus du Plessis.
185 championship weight for Dricus du Plessis.
Next athlete to the scale is teammate competing in the bantamweight division, Cameron Simon.
One of the bantamweight division's wonderkind, Cameron Simon.
$135, the official weight for MSP, Cameron Simon.
135 championship weight for Cameron Simon as well. The young man, he just turned 22 recently.
In the bantamweight division, Trevin 5-Star Jones.
Cameron Simon, 22 years old. Here comes Trevin Jones. He'll be facing Cody Garbrandt.
$135, the official weight for Trevin Jones.
135 on the dot for Trevin Jones. It is a bantamweight bout. Cody Garbrandt's return to 135 pounds. Yeah, we got a few people on championship weight.
UFC's welterweight division, Song Kanan.
Song Kanan. Here comes Song Kanan. We haven't seen this young man in almost 2 years.
Why is that? Is it military
Actually, I
stuff?
don't know. I don't know.
171, the official weight for Song Kanan.
171 for Song Kanan. Didn't have any fights booked in there, so it's not like he's one of those guys fights are falling through. We just haven't seen him. Probably, yeah. I'm trying to think what happened in between. We just haven't seen him.
$155.5, the official weight for Mr. Rajshaba.
Loic Sabov, one of the late additions to this card.
All right, next fighter to weigh in.
55.5.
Live on ESPN at middleweight, Marc-André Barriault.
Marc-André Barriault.
185. The official weight.
185. That's championship weight. His fight with Julian Marquez is official.
Our next fighter to hit the scale, weighing in as a backup for our heavyweight championship main event, Sergey Pavlovich.
The surging Sergey Pavlovich, who, heaven forbid anything happened to the main event, he can replace one of the.
Guys, zoom out for that beefcake.
Yeah, this guy is taking up the frame.
259.
259.
That's got to be the easiest paycheck a heavyweight bet.
Yep.
Man.
All right, next fighter.
Hardest part, you just got to wake up early.
One of the talks of the card, Shavkat. 171 for Shavkat Rakhmonov.
All right, next athlete to weigh in, also competing live on pay-per-view, the number 7 ranked lightweight contender, Mateusz Gamrot.
Mateusz Gamrot.
156 for Mr. Gamrot.
156 for Mateusz Gamrot.
And next to the scale is his opponent, number 10 at present in the lightweight division, the Tarantula, Jalin Turner.
The towering Jalin Turner, who surely cannot keep making lightweight over and over again, but we'll see today. 155.5 for Jalin Turner, and his fight with Mateusz Gamrot is official. We have a chance to breathe.
What did I tell you about those lazy heavyweights?
You were right. I think you're right. I think we're getting much closer to 11:59 now, or sorry, the end of the weigh-ins. Then, what was what would I just said? What was Sergey? 240, 259. Okay, so I have to write this down somewhere. Here you go. So Sergey Pavlovich, 259. Listen. One of the heavyweights isn't lazy. Sergey showed up.
Getting paid. All
right, we have a little bit of a break. We got a lot of. I'm surprised we didn't get more. It's officials. Got a lot of halves, but not, So I wouldn't call this a fast start to the weigh-ins. Normally, I would say the first 15 minutes we have people still coming in. This kind of stopped at 10. So neither of the headliners, none of the main eventers, Jon Jones nor Ciryl Gane. Not a lot of concern there, I would think, as far as making weight goes. We're really just going to be interested what does Jon Jones look like on that scale. There have been some pictures, of course, that have come out earlier this week, some promo photos, and a lot of discourse around it about how his body now looks at heavyweight. But we'll see on the scale, and more importantly, we'll see how he looks on fight night. But I still think it'll be somewhere in between. I don't think he's going to make us wait till the end, but maybe that's just the optimist in me. But we're still waiting for Geoff Neal. We're still waiting for the highly anticipated Bo Nickal, Cody Garbrandt returning to bantamweight. We'll see how he looks back in the weight class where he won a UFC title. A lot of other notable names, ranked names, Derek Brunson, Viviane Araujo, and a lot of early prelim fighters as well. So, but here we are, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That was our initial rush. I should say we did have our co-main event competitors weigh in. The champion, Valentina Shevchenko, going for title defense number 9, I want to say? 8, excuse me. Title defense number 8 against Alexa Grasso. And here you go, guys. We can hit you with a little replay of that.
The very punctual Alexa Grasso.
124.5, the official weight for Alexa Grasso. Next to the scale is her opponent, making an 8th defense of her UFC flyweight championship, Valentina Bullet Shevchenko.
Look at the way she just holds that pose. What a pro.
She is the pro's pro.
Just flexing the whole time. What a stud.
124.5, the official weight for Valentina Shevchenko. Your co-headliner at UFC 285 is official.
Both fighters coming in 124.5, half a pound under the championship limit. Well done, ladies. Can't wait to see that fight on Saturday. I have see some of the questions. Someone asking if there's 2 hours left. How? Oh, Jose.
Oh no, Marc Raimondi was kind enough to get me a new coffee, so I said,
Oh my
thank you.
gosh. I don't want to hear that man's name on this broadcast again. Listen, you can hang out with Marc Raimondi all you want after the show. No, we love Marc Raimondi.
Pull a Dylan Dennis and just throw that coffee back in his face.
His exact phrase was, "I don't want to hear Marc Raimondi's name ever again."
I want to answer one of the questions I see in the chat. If there's 2 hours left, how are all these weights already in? Well, Jesus, do Mary. Some people weighed in and some people didn't. That's, I don't know. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Weigh-ins are at 9 a.m. local time.
Yep.
And then they have 2 hours to show up, basically, after that.
Yeah.
But weigh-ins are actually at 9 o'clock, and then they give them a 2-hour grace period, just in case, you know. Yeah,
Casey, that was so educational. I was being kind of snarky.
Trying to find a parking spot or something, you know.
Yeah, I was being kind of snarky, but that was very educational.
We don't need that. We don't need snark.
No. We don't need snark.
People come here for facts.
Let's talk about this card. Let's talk about this main event, as if we haven't talked about it enough this week. But listen, this is I don't know about you guys. I was skeptical this fight was going to stay together. Like, I didn't think it was never going to happen, but I'm surprised it went through on first booking. That it went as smoothly as Dana White saying, "Hey, Francis is gone. Guess what? We're going to take the vacant heavyweight title. Jon Jones, Ciryl gone." The only thing that didn't go smooth was, I guess, when the poster accidentally got put up, supposedly, right, at the arena that day of, and yep. Dana White got kind of UFC got kind of cheesed about it. After that, though, listen, I got announced. We've had.
When were they planning to release it? I wonder.
Like, that's a good question.
Like, just, I don't know.
The next day,
you said you're surprised this card didn't fall apart. It took 3 years to get Jon Jones back in the cage. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying, though. It's become the norm for this fight not to happen. I'm just expecting something to go wrong. And I'm an optimist. I'm the Prince of Positivity. I'm supposed to tell you everything's going to work out. But when it comes to certain characters, Jon Jones, Conor McGregor, you just assume something could go horribly wrong. I will say they haven't weighed in yet.
This was the third option. Gane was the third option. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of things went wrong. But the third option did seem, when they leaked the poster, like, all right, I guess we're good. Yeah. I guess we're good to go now.
The fight that was announced on that date is actually happening on that date. That is what surprised me. I thought there'd be some sort of delay, something, if it happened at all.
And the whole main card stayed together, right? This was the announced main card, right?
Oh, that's a question. I forgot to look. I normally look at these things. There was there was some rumored bouts. Oh no, Jalin Turner was supposed to fight Dan Hooker.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's the only one that fell out.
That's the only change. We got a great matchup anyway.
Gamrot, outside of Gamrot being a little bit late notice, this, I don't know. I think the hardcore fans like this fight better. Gamrot
I agree.
Turner.
And Gamrot's higher ranked than Turner, I believe. So certainly in our rankings.
For sure.
Yeah, pretty sure the official rank as well. So you kind of ended up with a bigger matchup. It's almost like what happened with Taila Santos and Aaron Blanchfield, like on a different way. But yeah, I think like Jessica Andrade, I would have ranked higher than Taila Santos, but I don't know. So we've had some good luck with this. The fight nights, listen, we lost the main event last weekend. If you're a believer in the whole checks and balances, the MMA God stuff, maybe that's what had to happen. And look, it was a minor thing. Krylov and Spann, look, they got postponed. It wasn't even canceled. It was postponed. We're still getting Krylov and Spann. We're just getting it later. And if that's the hit that one of these cards had to take so that Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane can happen, I'm sure a lot of fans out there are happy. I've made it known every time I talk about Jon Jones, I'm not a fan of the man personally, but to deny that this is a momentous event, once he walks back into the cage on Saturday would be silly. This is a huge deal. Like you said, Casey, how many years in the making? Jon Jones heavyweight. Like 10.
11.
Like, we're talking about-
Actually, he first announced it, as far as we know, publicly over 11 years ago
yeah.
that he was moving to heavyweight.
I don't know why I'm asking. If anyone wants a little recap on this sort of journey, you guys can go to the UFC. You go to MMAfighting.com. You can go to MMA Fighting's YouTube, and there's it's a short video. It's 6-7 minute video by our own Shaheen El-Shadi and Casey Leiden with some beautiful photos from Esther Lin in there as well. And there's a Return of the King feature on Jon Jones. This very complicated sort of journey that he's taken over the last 11 years, and what it means that he's back. And it's a great video. Casey, great video.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys, people, listen, I don't like to tell you to tune away from the weigh-ins, but keep us in this window. Keep us open. Open up another window. It's a 6-minute video. Turn it on. Watch it. It could be another 5 minutes before we see someone coming up here. So make sure to check that out. But yeah, a lot of emotions going to this, whether you're a fan of Jon Jones or whether or not. It has been so many weird, I almost think people are forgetting. We all remember we all know about his legal problems. We all know about the past USADA suspension. I think people forget third most is him, the public dispute over compensation with Dana White that almost doesn't get talked about anymore because he himself is
the reason he was out for so long.
Yeah, he himself has kind of swept it under the rug.
Yeah.
He's kind of swept it under the rug though, right? He's kind of like, Francis is a coward for leaving and not taking the money, and it's like, John? You were just. So that's one reason why I think that's kind of been pushed aside. John supposedly on an 8-fight contract. That is reported duration. Whether he fights out all those 8 fights is anybody's guess, but that is the deal he's on now. So we are supposedly Saturday will mark the beginning of sort of the final. I would have to think the final chapter of Jon Jones. He's 35 years old. If you guys watch Shaheen's and Casey's video, they have footage from all the way back in the day, baby Jon Jones. And he was just a bright-eyed, 22, 23-year-old young man, his whole world ahead of him, talking to a boyish-looking Ariel Helwani. And who knew what paths those guys were going. But it is crazy to think that he's actually 35 now. The youngest champion in U.S. history is 35 years old. Probably closer to the end than his prime. But that's what makes Saturday so intriguing, right? Casey, what's your? Could you give me your initial thoughts on this? What do you want to say about Saturday's main event?
Well, they're battling for the second best heavyweight in the world. It's just too bad it wasn't Francis. John Francis was the fight to make. Unfortunately, UFC has their ways to do business, and but it doesn't seem like the fans care that much, honestly. And maybe that's why Francis didn't get what he wanted, because I don't see too many people claiming this is a false title, or what do you call it, a paper paper title,
paper champ. Yeah, sure,
paper champ. That's right, paper champ. Yeah. I don't see too many people actually saying that. People, they're just like the fans have bad news for Francis. At least maybe it seems like the fans have really moved on, and maybe is the title part even important? Do you think? I guess that's more the question.
It's a prop, as I always say. It's a prop.
Or is the most important thing is just seeing Jon Jones, bulked up at this, after 3 years. Like, that's all that really matters. Like, if this was Jon Jones versus Marcin Tybura, will we be just as hyped?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
I think you're right, Jose. Yeah. I think as good as Ciryl Gane is, and I think Ciryl Gane, matchup wise, he's equally as tough as Ngannou. In a different way, but I don't think it matters who the opponent was. I think people just want to see Jon Jones, and hardness. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. I guess it's like people, as much as we were like maybe fans were just like, I hate Jon. John's so stupid.
We got
I can't wait to see him back, and he's back.
Oh no, you're good. You're not in the shot.
Okay, we got some movement. Thank you, Casey. I'm going to throw to Jose after this, but let's see who we got here.
What could those two gentlemen be talking about?
All right, next fighter to weigh in the lightweight division, making the to start for the first fight of the night live on ESPN Plus and UFC Fight Pass.
Esteban Ribovitz, who had an opponent change, originally supposed to fight Carmelo Kirk. Now he's fighting
156, the official weight for Esteban Ribovitz.
156 for Esteban Ribovitz. His fight with Loic Radzhabov is now official. I have to comment on this every time. I forgot we have the. Oh, here he is.
Yeah, the slam the weight guy. Yeah,
the close enough slam it home weighing guy. And again, I joke about it and I laugh about it, and I'm totally okay with it. I think if we're talking about ounces. I respect the weight cutting process. Weigh-in process.
You do not respect it.
I do. Listen, I was fine with them taking the belt away from Charles Oliveira. I was fine with that. I didn't like it. I was fine with it, but I also
I was absolutely fine with that one. That one was completely justified. I still have zero clue why that was any sort of controversy.
The scale was off, Casey. Someone was messing with the scale.
Just for one person, though. Just for one person.
Well, everyone else had like a weird
scale was right for
just still made it.
21 other fighters.
All right, who's getting the quick draw treatment this time? He better take his time with like Jon Jones. I want to know exactly what Jon Jones. Don't go like 250. No, let's get an exact weight here. Looks like he's waiting on. God, he's very stern look on his face as well.
Yeah.
All right, next fighter to the scale, one half of the featured prelim
Cody.
on ESPN is the former undisputed UFC bantamweight champion, Cody Garbrandt.
Cody Garbrandt.
$136, the official weight for Cody Garbrandt.
146. I see Brandon asking, where was this guy when Charles Oliveira weighed in? He was not there because that was in Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was in Las Vegas, is where this guy was when that fight happened.
In a prelim on ESPN and middleweight division, top 5 ranked contender Derek Brunson.
Derek Brunson coming. I guarantee if this guy was doing the Phoenix weigh-ins, there would have been no controversy, and Charles would have 156. Guaranteed. Derek Brunson, blonde as ever.
185 and a half, the official weight for Derek Brunson.
185.5 for Derek Brunson. His fight with Dricus du Plessis is official. We are just cruising along here. No issues so far. Always good to see. Let's see if we have a pause.
We're just missing our main event, man.
I mean, if we're just missing our main event, it's not a big deal. But again, they're heavyweights. They're heavyweights. Like you said, I was probably too optimistic saying that both guys would show up in the initial rush, the first 10 minutes. More likely, they're sleeping in, having a good time, not even close to the championship limit of 265, 266. Oh, sorry, 265, excuse me. And just enjoying an extra breakfast, probably. So.
You're taking advantage of your positivity. I'm a realist.
Let me throw to Jose here. We were talking about, of course, the main event. And yeah, it's kind of, I don't know how much people care, like you said, that it's not Francis out of the picture. So how much has Jose, how much has Francis' name sort of even
Zero.
come up?
Literally not at all.
What about among the media? I mean, you guys are
not at all.
No?
Literally not one. Never.
Wow.
Like part of the story, but he's not like looming. His presence is not looming over this fight whatsoever.
Why is that? Why do you think we've all been kind of like, okay? He was gone for a year already anyway, but I mean,
did people talk about Hakeem Olajuwon when Michael Jordan came back?
No, probably not. I wasn't
No.
really. There was no Twitter back then, so.
Jon Jones is back. That's the story. Francis was the champ. He's not here. It's unfortunate, but literally Jon Jones is all anyone's talking about.
Are you of the opinion that Francis' name won't come up on the broadcast one time?
It will 100% come up on the broadcast.
It will come up. It will come up.
Yeah, you can't have a 7-hour show and not talk about Francis.
Ooh.
Oh,
we'll see. We'll see. Let's see how it's mentioned. Let's see. I wonder if they keep saying for the vacated belt, if they're going to say why it was vacated, who vacated it, or anything like that. I'd be interested.
Who is our commentary team for this event? Cormier, Anik, and
Rogan
Rogan
shows up for John fights.
Okay.
Rogan usually just shows up for Vegas stuff in general.
Yeah,
And
I can't imagine.
He would not miss a John fight, Rogan. This fight could be
can't-
on Mars. He'll show up for that one.
I can't imagine any of those guys not bringing it up just in conversation. Like you said, you're doing a 7-hour broadcast. You're talking about. You probably have to keep bringing up the main event. I do think all three of them are likely to mention Francis' name.
In the sense that he left the UFC, like the UFC couldn't get a contract with him, or like in the sense that Ciryl Gane lost to Francis for the
I
title.
mean, yes, at the very least that. Yeah.
That's what I mean. They might mention his name in terms of just history, but not.
Oh,
They won't actually say why this fight is not Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou. I don't think they're gonna say that.
Jose, do you
I
think
don't
they'll
know.
address that?
You'll have to tell me because I'm not even going to hear the broadcast.
What do you think
No.
though? You have a feel for sort of
They will
You know,
100%. Joe Rogan will 100% bring it up.
he'll bring up the circumstances.
Yes, without question.
Okay, I can see.
That's
Yeah,
Joe Rogan.
That Francis wanted to get a real paycheck. Interesting.
I don't know
We'll
if
see.
I'll put it that way, but I don't know if I'll put it that way.
That's. I mean, okay, whatever.
Listen, I don't know. Maybe Rogan's drinking the company Kool-Aid, and he goes like, "Listen, Francis Ngannou was scared. He didn't want. He saw Jon Jones finally coming back, and he said, "I'm at it." I can't imagine Rogan doing that, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if they want them. I rarely feel like they're telling the commentary to do a certain thing. I'll be honest. Like at the commentary, listen, these guys.
They know what not to say. How about that?
Sure. Don't say Bellator, for example. Just don't mention Bellator. Like that's been standing for a long time. But listen. Rogan does a good job himself of making up his own narratives during a fight and during a card. So I don't think he needs the UFC's help to do that. So. I don't know how much time we're going to have to break this down. I know we do have the preview show.
You know whose
later.
name isn't
Go ahead,
mentioned
Nick.
even the name that's even mentioned even less than Francis this week is Stipe.
I didn't even know who you were talking about for a second.
Yeah. What is that strange sound you just made, Casey?
Ricardo in the comments saying Stipe deserved the rubber match. Just saying. So thank you, Ricardo. Someone hasn't forgotten about Stipe. But listen, that's by design. That's by the UFC's design. That's by Stipe's design. Stipe doesn't. He's like. I don't know. You're right. He's just kind of like obviously he wants to be involved, but he's not. He's not pushing
Is it
for
obvious?
like.
I don't know.
He said he
I'm just
wanted
saying,
to fight in March. He said he wanted to fight on this card.
Yeah, but he's. I feel like he doesn't like. There's no. Again, it's his Stipe way. It's like I don't know.
Stipe also doesn't speak English, so it's hard for me.
Oh, stop it. He speaks Ohio English, which is it's fine.
I stand by what I said.
With Stipe, it's strictly just a money thing. It's just like put enough zeros on that check.
I think it was
I'll
a
show up.
combination of that, and he was a new dad. He also got punched in the head really hard by Francis, so he's probably, you know what? I need to take a break for a second.
You think he's out? He's still recovering from that loss?
No. I think he was more than ready to fight in December and March. I think December was obviously a money thing. Then I think March they just went with Ciryl because I think they were holding out because Francis wasn't ready in December, and I bet they were holding out hope that John Francis could get done in March. It didn't happen. It was Ciryl because I think if John wins, you could do John Stipe. I think that deserves a lot more build up than the handful of weeks.
I was gonna ask Jose Stipe. You think he walks right back as soon as he says I'm coming back, I'm ready to fight?
I think
walks
the
right back
winner
to
of
a
this versus Stipe is your international fight week headline.
What happens to Blades and Sergey? Nothing,
Sorry.
I guess. Curtis, I just imagine Curtis Blades like runs through Sergey in like 30 seconds, and it's just still like, nah, Stipe's back. Sorry, we've been.
Yeah, and then like Tom Aspinall's coming back too, so it's just a whole thing. It's not like it's unfortunate. Like even Curtis Blades is like, I get it. It sucks, but I get it.
Shout outs to it. D-Rock in the comments. D-Rock says Jose is literally the best MMA media personality by a long shot.
That's just not true.
Wow, and he's sitting right next. He's sitting right next to Marc Raimondi too.
Yeah, D-Rock, do you want to take that back? He's sitting with Marc Raimondi.
That's true. I am.
Casey, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about Stipe just coming back and leapfrogging the Blades Pavlovich winner?
It's the UFC. It could be.
It's the UFC.
There's no real logic. The only logic is how much money can the UFC make, and whatever. That's just how much money they can make. I don't remember. I'm losing the circumstances exactly, but do you remember when the UFC booked Chandler versus Oliveira? And that was like that was like a shocker. No one really thought that was gonna be the booking.
Yep.
And I feel like this. I feel like because I think it was Oliveira that was the one that kind of shocked everyone at the time. Of course, Oliveira really proved himself by winning that in the next like 3 fights. But I feel like the same way with Gane is since like Gane's the third option here because
Well, I think
UFC
they did Charles. They did Charles and Chandler because Dustin was tied up with his Conor McGregor trilogy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they couldn't get the money right because Dustin was like,
Well,
"Well, I'm gonna get paid more for this."
I think Dustin just wanted to fight Conor.
I thought Dustin was pretty upfront about like, "Oh, I get paid way more to fight Conor than I will for an actual belt."
Correct.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Like the yeah. The
Guys,
matchup.
I've taken the question to the people. When Stipe Miocic returns, does he get the UFC 285 main event winner? Not a lot of votes in yet, but yes, surging ahead early with 62%. But again, we're not even at 100 votes yet, so very, very small sample size. I'll keep that updated. But
I personally think he shouldn't get it because he'll be coming off a loss, and I really don't like that. But
Jessica Penne, the veteran Jessica Penne. She's been fighting for, I think, 16 years.
$116, the official weight for Jessica Penne.
116 for Jessica Penne. Her fight with Tabitha Ricci, the baby shark, is now official. Oh, here we go.
Kicking off the pay-per-view main card in middleweight division, making his UFC debut.
Oh boy, Bo Nickal.
The official weight for Bo Nickal.
185.5 for Bo Nickal, and his UFC debut against Jamie Pickett is now official. Yes, that bout was rescheduled from. This was supposed to happen. UFC 282. Nickal had a minor injury. It got pushed back here. So, but yes, the same matchup, same opponent, Jamie Pickett. Jamie Pickett, the biggest underdog on the card, and accordingly, Bo Nickal is the biggest favorite. I was trying to dig up the odds here. I'm gone blind for a moment. Okay, here we go.
Is Nickal the biggest? I mean, you might not know the answer to this, but
for a debut,
online, the biggest favorite for their UFC debut.
My guess would be, who was the Gracie who fought Joey Beltran in his UFC debut? I want to say Hollis Gracie.
No, Hollis isn't coming in with the same type of.
It wasn't Hollis. It was. Oh my gosh! I have to look this up. No, because I remember Joey Beltran. This fight was also hilarious. Joey Beltran was Joey Beltran also making his debut? So maybe they were both making it was Hollis Gracie, and Hollis Gracie was brought in. I don't know if it was so I'm seeing minus 1,400 for Bo Nickal. I don't think Hollis is quite there, but he was I believe in the quadruple digits if I'm not mistaken. Hollis Gracie was only minus 730. I guess depending where you look, you probably could have gotten better odds, but my mistake. But yeah, so I would have to imagine by far Jose. I don't know if you can recall of someone debuting being close to minus 1,400 favorite.
I can't even think right now.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's an incredible number to come in. It has a true prospect too, not like kind of
fights.
Yeah.
3 pro. I think. And how many amateur? One, two,
one, whatever. Yeah. Very limited combat sports experience, but
very limited MMA experience. You mean MMA?
Sorry, MMA experience. I correct myself.
Plenty of combat sports experience.
Yeah, you're right. You're very much so.
Yeah, 2 amateur fights, 3 pro fights.
And has anything gone past the first round on him?
No, he hasn't even made it past 1:30.
Ooh, that is impressive.
And more importantly, it's not like he's not just grounding pound people. Like he's knocked people out on his feet.
Every
First
way,
fight was his standing knockout. The second one he was ground and pound, and then he pulled that triangle, like he off his back. Like that dude is a monster.
We have people saying on FanDuel. I mean, you guys are using DraftKings, but just for the purposes of the conversation. Now, FanDuel, Bo is minus 2,200.
Boy.
I would like YouTubers let me know what is Pickett? What is Pickett as an underdog? Because I mean, listen, if you're getting like plus 2,000 odds for Pickett, sprinkle a few bucks on there. I mean, who knows what can happen, right? Yes. If you're getting plus 2,000 odds for a fight, and you're someone who regularly bets on cards. Again, I always say never gamble. But if you're someone who like says, oh, I bet like $50 on cards, and I spread that $50 around every card just for fun, you might want to throw $10 on Jamie Pickett.
You know, what's so freaking fun about this card is like the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost the top 6 fights, almost 7. Jeez, if you want to include Brunson and DDP, like if a certain person wins in that fight, like that kind of changes dramatically changes the landscape of that division. You know, obviously, like if Grasso wins, like it's just like it's a seismic shift in the 25 division. If Shavkat just like steamrolls Geoff Neal, then we're like, okay, this is like, we'll be just like the conversation is really going to be just like changing on like if Turner just blows away Gamrot, because we know how good Gamrot is, but this is got an opportunity for Turner to, all right, let's see how good people if it's true, the hype is true, and obviously if Nickal rolls through Pickett, it's just there's so many like just. The storylines for 2023 can just shift so much with big wins.
And that's just the main card. That's just the main card. I mean,
Garbrandt
look at Garbrandt being given a very winnable fight. With respect to Trevin Jones, a super tough guy. Very winnable fight for Cody. That's a Trevin Jones, not like a super like one punch knockout threat. Is kind of what we wanted for Cody. So again, I don't know if Cody wins or not, but I mean, he shouldn't get knocked out, and if he does, then we're really going to have to sort of look at this guy's career.
I mean, it depends how the fight goes. If we'll see. Like, there's different types of knockouts, but yeah,
Brunson,
Brunson,
Brunson, DDP, 2 ranked guys for sure. Araujo, Ribas could become ranked. She could be ranked if she beats Araujo. I think she'll. Casey, I know you have a lot of respect for fighters who compete in 2 divisions. I believe she would have to be ranked at both strawweight and flyweight.
Isn't she already ranked at both?
Yeah,
in the UFC rankings, I think so. In the only rankings that matter, the MMA Fighting Global rankings, she is ranked at strawweight, but not at flyweight. Matter. Yeah. All rankings matter. I wouldn't go that far. MMA Fighting Global rankings.
UFC rankings do not matter.
The UFC rankings definitely don't matter. And then that's just the top 8 fights, and then again, like I said, prelims so much.
You got a lot of good prospects.
Ian Machado, Garry. Ian Machado, Garry, the future, right? I mean, they're bringing him along the right way. I love the matchups they're giving him. He's only 24 years old. I know he's one of those guys who has a lot of hype around him, but he's a guy I don't think you give him like a top 25 opponent until like 2 more fights after this one, unless he destroys Song in like 20 seconds. But yeah, really good matchmaking, great names, like you said, Casey. We had a lot of luck.
If he destroys Song in 20 seconds, like that doesn't really. It really, like 20-second victories are very deceiving.
Alexander Hernandez,
completely
changed the arc of his career, right? Like he got to get some knockout barriers, and they don't know what to do with him. To throw him in there with top 15 guys right out of the gate.
Guys, breaking news according to Big Marcel on Twitter that Jessica Andrade is fighting Jon Jones.
Damn.
All right.
I had a lot. That was a popular on to the next one pick. A lot of people I saw were calling for that one for Andrade's next fight. So
who's this gentleman? This
is Farid Basharat.
What was the weight? I didn't hear it.
136. His brother Javid already making waves in the same division, I believe. I believe they're both bantamweights. So we'll see how Farid does in his debut. Recently won a Contender Series contract, just like Javid did. But Javid, like I said, Javid, I said, is someone who I think he'll be ranked. He'll have a number next to his name by the end of the year. And we'll see if Farid can follow in his footsteps. He's got a little bit of a test here in Damon Blackshear, but I would say a favorable matchup for sure.
So you said Andrade and Jan Xiaonan got announced?
Yeah, Jan Xiaonan. That's a good matchup.
Now, AK, didn't you suggest you wanted Andrade versus Suarez, right? Is that what?
I don't think that was me.
That's what Mike Heck said. Mike Heck said on your little.
Did I say
for home game in May?
I did say that. I did say that. This is true. I'm sorry. I had to go back to my. Yes, I wanted Suarez and Andrade, so I didn't get it.
To us or someone else?
He's talking to someone else.
Oh, okay.
I also want to say, sorry, I want to go to Pickett and Nickal for a second. Casey, you like to hear the topology picks as opposed to the odds.
Oh, yeah.
98% Nickal.
Wow.
98% Nickal, 75% picking a submission victory, 15% a KO. So 90% are picking a finish, a win by finish.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
I don't
pretty,
I don't think
a
I've
lot of
ever
people.
seen a UFC fight with only
Yes, you do.
2% on the other
I
person.
was trying to find odds for like in this Bellator, obviously, Aaron
That
Pico and
is
Zach
bonkers.
Freeman, and I don't know. I don't even think
No,
Aaron
that
Pico was
no
like
way
that.
could have been that like
He's
that.
had crazy odds since then. He's had like insane odds since then.
Yeah.
They're close to this, but not in his debut.
Not two. That is bonkers.
All right, I shouldn't pay attention to the comments. I'm sure someone had some suggestions as to who might had a bigger debut odds, but I don't think so. I'm thinking like a Brock Lesnar, but he was no way he was minus 1400 anything over
His
Frank.
first
Mir.
fight was Frank
There's no
Mir
way.
too. It wasn't
There's
he?
no way. I think it might have been favored, but it would have been like minus.
Yeah, he would have
200.
favored. Yeah,
Not like crazy, nothing crazy. But yeah, so not a lot of people giving Jamie Pickett a chance. He's plus 850 according to Topology. I should check DraftKings as well. Sorry guys, should have I'm not a gambling guy. Everybody, listen. I always tell people don't gamble, but if you're gonna gamble, please use DraftKings code the MMA Hour. I'm just saying. I don't encourage
support them because they support us.
Support them because they support us.
Man, I don't gamble, but man, throw $5 on Pickett. Just from Nickal accidentally throwing an illegal knee or something. Just from because DQs are still victories.
Plus 1,000. Jamie Pickett plus 1,000 on DraftKings. So again, if you people are feeling frisky and you live by anything can happen in MMA, including Bo Nickal stubbing his toe 5 seconds into the fight, losing by TKO injury.
Well, no, I would think a DQ, like think Jon Jones, Matt Hamill, just like
right. Listen,
that happens.
This is a Jon Jones card. There's weird energy in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know what fight. I hope it's not one of the two championship fights. I do feel like we're getting some weird finish, non-finish, no contest or DQ, or like you said, injury. Hopefully, like nothing serious, but yeah, like a weird like stub toe thing.
I'm looking at Topology. What I think is really interesting too, is that nobody. I mean, I'm picking Valentina to win, but like nobody's picking Grasso, despite Valentina maybe coming off her either Santos' best performance of her career or Valentina's worst performance of her career, however you want to look at it. Like, it doesn't seem to carry that Valentina's performance doesn't seem to carry over to this fight. Like we're not going, oh, Valentina's losing a step. She seems to be just as strong as a favorite, and this fight as if she had rolled through Santos. And I thought Santos still won. I mean, I thought Santos won the fight. But that's neither here or there. But Valentina's the champ still. But I find that kind of shocking, actually.
Well, and it's so different. It's so different too. I think
obviously different matchups, but it's just. I mean, what was the line? Let me look at that. I want to see what the line was.
First, Santos
versus Santos. Yeah.
So she's minus 625 for Grasso versus Santos. I should say, sorry, DraftKings minus 750 on DraftKings. So even longer odds there.
It was okay. I take it back. Mm-hmm. On Topology, 7% of people think Grasso is going to win. So that is an improvement because only 6% of people thought Santos was going to win.
Right.
So she lost 1% of her fans go, I don't know, maybe she's slipping. 1% of her fans.
Listen, the matchup is just so different because I think people saw the like if anyone's going to beat Valentina, I imagine most people would think it would be due to grappling. There was a Jessica Andrade intrigue of the one punch knockout power too, but I mean now that we've seen that's foiled, I don't think anyone can imagine her losing a striking matchup. And Grasso, listen, very good boxer, but it's just, again, she's in a striking battle with one of the pound for pound best strikers in all of MMA. So, but grappling is a whole other thing. We've seen many champions, fall to good grappling and become champions through good grappling. So that's probably why there's just it's an apples and oranges thing coming off the Tyler Santos fight. People just aren't seeing any correlation. I'm more curious if they rematch what the odds will look like for Santos. I imagine still a pretty heavy underdog, but no, I don't think I bet Valentina will probably have her closest odds yet. Should that matchup happen, and hopefully someday it will. So Shevchenko minus 750 on DraftKings. Grasso coming in plus 550, and in the main event, Jon Jones right now sitting just at minus 170. I've seen a lot of people saying Jon Jones, easy money this week. Like a lot of people thinking like, wow, like, this is the GOAT. Like, how can he not be a bigger favorite? So again,
and those betting odds line up with Tapology with only 60% of people picking Jon Jones. What I found really interesting when we did our pros predict, every single fighter on this card at least picked well, some were kind of on the fence. He's like, it's gonna be a good fight. I'm excited. But for everyone that gave a prediction, they all picked Jon Jones, and they all picked it rather confidently too, which I thought. So fighters seem to be leaning very heavily toward Jon Jones. Fans, however, are a little bit more, I don't know, realistic. It's like, he's
very, very close. 60-40 on Tapology for Jones. I think so. I'm going to throw it to Jose in a sec, but I do want to say, we all want to see Jon Jones fight Francis Ngannou. Duh. I mean, I think it's a far more, and I think Ciryl Gane is great, but just the drama, storyline, the star power.
He was the champ,
and he's the undisputed champ.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about this matchup is that Gane is maybe the most athletic guy in the heavyweight division. Francis Ngannou is a great athlete. He's absolutely upper tier athlete. I think Gane is the number one.
I would agree.
In the heavyweight division. That is so intriguing to me because athleticism, as skilled as Jon Jones is, Jon Jones is a super skilled fighter, great in cage IQ. Also is a great athlete. People remember what a great athlete he is. He's like a really, really good athlete. And a light heavyweight in the aging light heavyweight division, that gave him an enormous leg up over Lyoto Machida, Rampage, Shogun, great fighters, but guys who definitely could not match him from a strength and athleticism standpoint. And that was a huge factor and one of the reasons why he became the youngest UFC champion in history. He tied all those physical gifts into the great fight IQ, ability to just absorb skills like a sponge, So the athleticism matters.
And when Jon fought, to me, what I thought was the best athlete in the 205 division with Dominic Reyes, we saw how that fight went.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Reyes is an excellent athlete,
young and athletic.
Athlete. And he gave him problems, serious problems. I think
that is an understatement. That is an understatement.
Yeah,
yeah.
Jose, so I'm harping on the athleticism. That to me is the most appealing part of this. Again, sort of second choice matchup, if you want to call it that. I don't know about you. What do you like most, specifically from the Gane side? What do you most like about him and how he matches up with Jon Jones?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was talking with Marc-André. I know you didn't want me to say that name.
Oh,
so
we have to demonetize now.
You're asking what I like about Ciryl Gane in this fight.
Yeah, aside from the athleticism, unless the athleticism is like the main thing you want. But aside from that,
absolute, and I'm going to use the scientific term. He's an absolute unit of a man. So, it's like Jon Jones might be, a very athletic wide receiver, tight end, but you run over the middle and you run into, Patrick Willis. It's gonna hurt. So I'm very curious to see how Jon's the first clinch up, because I think our good friend Oscar said it when we were trying to talk about this fight. He goes, if I could very easily see Jon goes for his first takedown and Ciryl just shoves him off and then tries to lock up again, and Ciryl just does not let him because he's stronger and for whatever reason. This Ciryl sets the pace early. This could be tough because Jon in all of his fights, he he lulls you into fighting at his pace, like that. Remember Anthony Smith is like, well, I'm not going to fall for it. And then after the fight, Anthony Smith is like, well, I fell for it. He himself said it. I could also see, you can't see me right now, but I could also see a fight where they just, put their hand in front of them, pitter patter for 25 minutes. I could very easily see that.
Yeah, I think that's an advantage for Gane.
100%. 100%. I think it could be dominant one-way traffic for both men, or I could see a very boring 25-minute fight. Because if you watch Ciryl versus who is it, Volkov or Jairzinho, or you watch like Jon Jones versus Thiago and Anthony Smith were not good fights. Dominic Reyes' fight was a good fight. It was an exciting fight. He lost, but it was still an exciting fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. I don't know. I think we're going to know early in the fight.
And one thing about Gane too, Gane has no issue at all winning a quote unquote boring fight.
100%.
Yeah, I admire that about Gane. He doesn't care about the crowd. He's like, no, I'm an athlete here for the W. I like that.
He's one of the most, and I say this obviously not knowing the man personally and just kind of based on his public persona. He comes off as one of sort of the most secure, like personally secure, mentally healthy, as mentally healthy as you can be as a fighter. And that's why, again, and that's why I guess he doesn't have that larger than life persona. He seems very down to earth, very grounded, very aware of like his existence, of the absurdity of fighting, and wins and losses, whatever. Oh, we have our guy coming back. Quick Draw McGraw on the scale coming back up here.
Who?
I said Quick Draw McGraw. What's his name, Jose?
I don't know. His name's
McGraw.
McGraw.
He's Quick Draw McGraw now.
Y'all are weird.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't make an anime. If I made an anime reference, Jose would have been like all over it. Like, yeah.
I would have been like, you're talking out of turn, AK.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, pal.
Speaking of which, be on the lookout for an episode of Anything But Fighting with the one and only Serena De Jesus soon.
Oh yeah.
And a friend of the show, friend of the site, Joe B.
Yeah.
Joe Benavidez. Oh, the Oscar. Why was I not invited to the Oscar show?
Because you live in a fictional world of America and we were in reality down here in Las Vegas.
Wow. I'll give you guys my Oscar picks later.
You can write it in the YouTube comment section. Give us that engagement.
Oh, that's a good idea. Who's coming out? Jose, who's coming out?
Viviane.
Viviane Araujo.
The official weight for Viviane Araujo.
126 for Viviane Araujo. Her fight with Amanda Ribas is now official. All right, like I said, we're cruising along. Almost have the whole main card. We just don't have our main event, and we're still also waiting on Geoff Neal. Other than that, it's really only a handful of fighters. I'll do a rain dance in about 5 minutes. Let's wait till the 1 hour mark before we do our little weigh-in rain dance and start summoning some people to come to the scale. No rush yet.
A fight like Viviane, how do you say it?
Viviane
and
Araujo.
Yeah. Araujo and Ribas. That's it's actually a great fight, but like I feel actually bad for those women because this card is so loaded that I feel that fight will completely be forgotten no matter who wins. I feel like I'm sorry?
Without question.
Oh, okay, yeah, I kind of wish that card was like a co-main event for a fight night card, honestly, because I feel that both those women deserve more attention to them based on the division, and I love watching Amanda Ribas fight, and I completely forgot. I mean, not completely forgot, but like as far as like anticipation, I was like, it's not on my top 5. And I
think the big thing is there are people coming off losses to like top 5 ranked people.
Yeah,
like this is a tough matchup for them.
At least they're on. This fight is on the. Not the prelims. It's on the second set of prelims, the ESPN News / ESPN Plus prelims. And this is like they do a good job with these with pay-per-views. Where, like I said, it's main card, sort of the star power. The second set of prelims is like veterans / ranked people that you obviously just couldn't fit on the main card. And then early prelims, a lot of prospects, up and comers. So perfectly formatted here. Well done by the UFC on that front. Maybe I guess the only exception would be the Tabitha Ricci. Yeah, she's still a prospect. She's only in her 9th pro fight. So there you go. So well done UFC there. But yes, Vivi and Amanda Ribas will be on the sort of more veteran part of the prelims. But yes, unless something crazy happens, it does feel like it might get swept under the rug. But not by the MMA Fighting Global Ranking team. If Amanda Ribas beats Viviane Araujo, I am definitely going to rank her in a second weight class. Casey, I think you already are. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at your rankings. I think you have Ribas at flyweight and strawweight, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Like she's like probably the very back end, like top 15 at.
You could be ahead of the game. We might join. The rest of us might have to join you because Araujo, I believe, is in our top 10. She is not top. She's 12th. She's 12th. So either she falls out or Ribas jumps in. But I think Ribas will jump in. I was gonna I'm so mad I'm not on Jose's Oscar podcast. I was gonna go on an Oscar rant here, but I'll leave it now. I'll just say Oscar Wills is great, and then I'll move on.
Ooh,
That's all.
we got
It was a
demonetized
very
now.
long Casey. I know
Yes.
you all appreciate this. AK doesn't appreciate anything in life. So
Wow.
I did a 3-camera shot by myself. So I didn't get to monitor any of the, I'm just like, I really hope. And it comes out okay. Luckily, 90% of it came out. There's moments where I had laughs on.
Oh, Jose, you're coming up totally muffled.
Am I better?
Much
There you
better.
go.
Am I better? Am I
Yes.
better?
Yes.
All right. So I had lav mics on that
Okay.
3-camera shot. I'm like, I really hope this comes out okay. So I had a wide shot and then 2 solo shots on Joe and then Zach, who works for UFC.com. He was on too because it's essentially just our group chat but a podcast. And so I had to edit it all up. Now I lav mic'd them up and then I had a stick mic for me, also wireless. Now Joe is fidgety. So at some points he sticks his hands in his pocket and starts messing around with the lav mic like receiver, and you just like on the audio. And then at one point Benny, his dog, jumps up on his lap and just starts like sitting on the receiver, and you just. So I tweeted out a photo of the first segment of what it looks like in my premiere, and my brain is absolutely fried trying to edit this one segment.
Yeah, you might have been a bit ambitious. In your
No, I
production.
mean if the audio, if the receiver of Joe wasn't malfunctioning at some point, it would have been perfect. It's just that's the only problem. Everything else came out great. I just have to play it throughout the whole thing just to make sure, because at random points you'll hear static. So I can't just assume the whole thing is clear. So I'm playing the whole thing. I got camera jumps and everything. First 2 segments are done. The only thing left I got to do is the final segment for Best Picture prediction.
Okay. So wait. So what is this about, real quick, on the screen? Do we know about this?
I'm asking him now. I'm replying in the comments. Did he do a video to like call out the haters or something? What happened? Am I a hater? I did.
It's one of those. You doubted me.
Oh, hold
How
on.
did anyone
I see a
doubt
video.
me?
This went up 4 hours ago. I see a video. Okay,
Oh,
I'm not having
no.
all of my faces in it. Oh my gosh. I did pick against Brendan Allen to lose to.
We all did. We all did.
I did. I don't remember what I said. I know I wrote something to the effect of like, "Wow, Andre Muniz is just a better grappler than him." Like, I can't imagine how Brendan Allen's going to win this one. So I probably said something similar on the show. Listen, happy to be proven wrong. Brendan looked fantastic, and thank you for including me, Brendan. And I don't know, so that was so that's fine. You guys find that on Brendan. You know what? I'll promote his Instagram, Brendan Allen's Instagram.
Tweet it out. Tweet it out. Go, congrats, Brendan. You proved me wrong.
I don't think he tweeted.
I love being wrong. Actually, about fights.
I love being in MMA. I love being wrong. Yeah.
Because then you learn something. Like, oh, all right.
I don't think he tweeted the video. I think it's only on Instagram, unfortunately. I'm trying to. Yeah, no, he didn't tweet it. So it's on Instagram. His Instagram is at @B_Allen185. I'm sure you can just search Brendan Allen on Instagram and find him. But yeah, this went up 4 hours ago. #bums. #scrubs. #keep talking. #keep talking. #keep doubting. If he puts this together himself, I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Listen, I don't mind being included in called a scrub or bum by a fighter. That's more than welcome. I better not be included in whatever this upcoming
Fighters is so weird.
Dana White. I'm going against the calling out the media again video for attacking him about something. I assume power slap because I didn't say anything about power slap. This is the most I've talked about on air. I think I don't talk about it, so I'm out. I better not be in there. I don't want no part of it. I got it already for the COVID whatever reporting. I'm fine.
I need the social media bump, so I hope I'm in it. I've been kind of stagnant.
You want the bump?
Yeah.
I never wanted it, and if I could take.
I hope they give me like the black and white filter, and they do the slow zoom in, like Jon Jones.
Oh
yeah.
They lower my voice, like
Casey Leiden doesn't like slap fighting. What else isn't he telling you?
You got it.
That's what we want. So if that happened, I would want. If that's the treatment that he's giving to people in the media, then I would be like, yeah, I want in on that too. That's pretty cool.
You got it. Anything for you?
Casey, Oscar picks.
Oh, I've given up. Oh,
You only watch cool. You only watch cool
Oscar
movies.
Oscar Willis, Oscar the Grouch, Oscar
Yeah.
Robinson.
Wow, good one. Yeah,
I think that's it. I think that's the 3 Oscars.
those are the only 3 Oscars you need, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about for
were-
movies,
we were all lighting up.
underrated movies this year that I don't know if enough people saw. The
Okay.
Netflix.
You don't even know who was nominated for the best picture. You don't care about the Oscars.
I don't, honestly, I kind of given up on that. It's like Oscars are like the Grammys. It's like all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Wow,
I mean,
that is. Can you guys still hear me? That is. I could not disagree more because the Grammys are highly politicized and tomfoolery. The Oscars got it right this time. No, the
So
winners are
wait,
another thing. Nominees are different.
Hold on, we're saying wait a minute. We're saying the Academy Awards aren't highly politicized tomfoolery. Hold on, now.
not nearly as much as the Grammys. Like it
So
is
bad.
like there are levels. The Grammys is
just
a
saying.
joke. Is a
There's
proper joke.
If we're debating what is more the most politicized of the award shows, it doesn't matter. They're all politicized. They all don't really
You know,
indicate.
so the best picture winners. You know how the best picture
Oh,
votes
All Quiet in the Western
are
Front was
counted?
nominated. I'm happy. That's cool.
That's a
Do you
great.
know
That's
how?
a great
Do
movie.
you know
Good
how the
stuff.
actual voting goes for the best pictures? Like, do you know how it works?
It's an Academy.
Okay. Right, but do you know how they poll? Like, so it's scoring tiers.
Oh my God, Jose! Stop asking. Just tell me.
Yeah.
It's what that's. I was trying. To,
I know you want
to.
I know you want to.
You're
I know
slightly
you want to
delayed.
explain
You're
it to
slightly
everyone.
delayed,
So
so I was
just
gonna
do
give you
it.
the opportunity to answer. So
Just do it.
just because you get the most first place votes does not mean you win. It's essentially like voting in baseball for the MVP, where if you say this one movie gets like 10th out of 10th place in like
Mhm.
all of like across the board, they've
Yeah.
wiped that. They wiped that from like the ballot, and they take the points left over and move and like disperse them amongst the top. So if Everything Everywhere All at Once gets the most first place votes and say
Is this for nominations or for the actual award?
award. So
Okay, this is for the award. Okay.
and then say like I don't know, All Quiet on the Western Front gets the second most first place votes. All of the extra votes that are being dispersed could be enough to bump All Quiet on the Western Front to the top. Which is why you get these weird if you look at the betting favorites going into the last few years of Best Picture,
Yeah.
they never
Yeah.
win
Right.
because all of those votes usually get dispersed and then one gets bumped to the top. It's very strange. So that's why when people are making Best Picture, you know that it's like it becomes this weird game. Like who will get the most first place votes, but who do you think will win based on all those extra votes being dispersed, possibly giving you a weird bump.
Jose, is your episode with Joe B coming out? I assume you talk about this on the episode with Joe
Tuesday.
B as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's coming out Tuesday, so next week.
This is the same episode with and the Serena episode is a separate episode.
Correct. Serena will probably
Okay,
come
it's
out
not
a couple
like
weeks
you- okay.
after.
All right.
Because I didn't want to put it out. We didn't want to put it out this Tuesday because
Oh, yeah, of
Jon
course.
Jones fight week. So I assume it'll be after the London pay-per-view.
Okay, yeah,
But
because
she's great.
Oscars are next weekend, so you'll have Jose
Correct.
and Joe B breaking it. Joe B, a super film buff. Every time I've listened to you guys talk about movies all the time, and he watches way more movies than I do. Way more movies than anyone, I think I should say. Not just he watches a lot of
Zach did
movies.
pretty good. Who was on the show too. So we did the Best Picture and then the 4 acting noms, and then we broke down like who we thought were big snubs, movies we enjoyed this past year that weren't nominated for anything, or maybe just people didn't see, and then underrated performances from.
I would say
that I don't. What's up?
I would say get me on next year, but I would say I would be more upset about not being on this year, but I would have just talked about Top Gun Maverick for like 45 minutes. So you made the right call. You made the right call. Yeah, you made the right call. You made the right call. That for me. Listen, well, I think everything Everywhere All at Once should win, but my second choice would be Top Gun Maverick. And if Top Gun Maverick won, I would not complain at all. I would be like, yes.
I watched Top Gun Maverick. It was it was
the fact
that it didn't suck was impressive.
Wow.
I think what people were surprised about is it didn't get like cinematography or editing, or whatever, because the actors were actually up in the planes. Like they were flying it, but like they put them up in planes on the camera, so now it was a green screen. So like they showed like the actors like getting out of the planes and just like
they probably they probably just lump it into like visual effects or whatever, which I think it will win that one. But either way, all right. Listen,
movie. Okay, but you asked me a question about Oscars. You didn't let me answer.
Yeah, you said okay, but you said you don't care about the Oscars.
I don't care, but I'm answering.
All right, give us.
I need to see Tar. Tar is the film I really need to see.
I also have not seen Tar yet.
I need to see Tar. I have the screener. I just haven't watched it yet,
Yeah.
and I need to see the Fablemans movie, which I also
Yeah.
have the screener that was sent to me.
Yeah,
I have
good
not
movie,
seen that
good
yet.
movie. Good movie. So your favorite movie, Oscars or not, just favorite movie.
I need to see The Well also.
Not
Have you
great.
seen The Well?
Overrated.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I
Incredibly
just saw it. It's all right.
It's a movie to watch for.
I
just
love-
the performance. The actual
I
movie
love
itself
I
is
love
below
Hong
average.
Chow. She's like one
She's
of my
amazing.
favorite
in it.
actresses.
She's amazing in it. She's
Hong
amazing.
Chow's like one of my
She's
favorite
amazing,
actresses.
man.
So I want to see it for Hong Chow in it, to be honest.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
great.
I would agree.
I saw Banshees of the Inisherin. It was very good.
I love that.
but
I love that movie.
I guess I still got to go everything everywhere all at once.
Mhm.
So that's
It
the
might-
betting favorite. So most people think the Fablemans or Banshees will get.
I'm okay with
the
Banshees.
nod.
Fablemans, I liked.
Totally based off
don't-
of what I was trying
yeah.
to explain about it.
Fablemans, I liked. I don't know if I'd want to see it win Best Picture. It's a good movie though. But
Most people think Michelle Yeoh will win Best Actress, but Kate
I hope
Blanchett
so.
and Tar
That'd be
is
good.
very close.
yeah,
It's like
I
1A, 1B. There's no wrong answer. The only lock I think would be Angela Bassett.
she's a lock.
I think so. She's winning.
But she
every
didn't win
one
the SAG
every-
though. She didn't win the SAG.
won
That's what
almost
surprised me.
every.
All right.
The SAG surprised me. By the way, someone's saying Pizza Sandwich says best movie ever, City of God. Jose, thoughts on that? You've seen
That's
that movie.
such a good movie.
There you go. Casey, you
great
seen
film.
City of God?
Yeah, of course I've seen it. It's a great film, and if that's your favorite film, I'm not going to argue with you. You know, when you're talking favorite film ever, you know, it gets pretty.
It's a whole. It's that.
That's a whole
what
thing,
kind.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. Listen. Thank you guys for the Oscar discussion. I feel better now. about not being Jose's show again.
Can we talk about Last of Us now? No, okay, I'm done.
No,
Jose-
I'm an episode behind.
Oh, you are?
Jose-
Okay, I won't say anything but Last of Us then.
Jose and Joe B's Anything But MMA episode next Tuesday. Guys, get your full Oscar fill. And who else? Sorry, it's you and Joe B and
Zach from UFC.com, who
Zach-
actually he has his own movie podcast too. So he joined us.
what's his last name? Don't they mention him on every broadcast? Is he not one of the production? Is he one of the production team?
No,
He's not that one of that guy.
UFC.com.
Okay, Zach from UFC.com.
Zach Poplar, I think is helping us.
Okay.
You're right.
So you guys look forward to that. All right, let's talk about. I'm sorry, guys. We'll talk about MMA now. That's what we're talking about. We just talked about anything but MMA. Let's talk about MMA. Let's do our little rain dance, Casey. For anyone
Ready
who
for
may
the
have
rain
just
dance?
joined in.
Yeah,
Let's do the
rain
rain
dance.
dance. Listen, we're over an hour in now. Some people have joined in late. If you want to know
Where's
who
Jon
weighed in,
Jones?
Where's Jon Jones?
Where's Ciryl Gane?
the weigh-in results are right there on screen so far. No misses, but let's read it out. Let's get the hold on. Let me get the piano. Let me get the keyboard in here set up. Okay. I'm ready to.
Last of Us fans, where's the crafting? Where's the
this is
workbench? Where's the workbench?
All right, I'm ready to.
Where's Ellie randomly crouching when you're trying to run away? Oh, wait, okay. We got the piano set up. La 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 la. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
There we go. And now it just plays itself. All right, guys, we are still waiting on the headliners, the heavyweight headliners, Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane, which isn't too surprising. They are heavyweights, probably nowhere near the heavyweight limit, and just taking their time. However, we have another title fight on Saturday. The flyweight title, champion Valentina Shevchenko fighting Alexa Grasso, both coming in at 124.5. We are still waiting on Geoff Neal. His opponent, Shavkat Rakhmonov, successfully weighed in at 171 pounds. And our other two main card fights are official, with Mateusz Gamrot coming in at 156 for his fight with Jalin Turner, and Jamie Pickett coming in 186 for his fight with the debuting Bo Nickal, 185.5. Closing out the second set of prelims, former UFC champion Cody Garbrandt returning to bantamweight after one fight appearance at 125 pounds. He weighed in at 136. His opponent, short notice, well, I was actually short notice, but shorter than usual notice replacement, Trevin Jones, 135. Ranked middleweight contenders, Derek Brunson and Dricus du Plessis both successfully made weight. Brunson, 185.5, Dricus du Plessis at 185. Viviane Araujo coming in at 126, using that 1 pound allowance for a non-title fight, as did her opponent Amanda Ribas, who also came in at 126. We have a middleweight fight that is already official. It's Julian Marquez coming in 186 for his fight with Canada's own Marc-André Barriault at 185. And then we have a couple more people we're waiting for. Ian Machado Garry, he fights Song Kanan, who came in at 171. And we're also waiting for Mana Martinez. He fights Cameron Simon, who came in at 135. Strawweight veteran Jessica Penne coming in 116 for her fight with the baby shark, Tabitha Ricci. Farid Basharat, the brother of Javid Basharat, coming in 136 for his UFC debut. We're still waiting for Damon Blackshear, and then opening the entire card, Loic Radzhabov, 155.5. Esteban Ribovic, 156. Here's Damon Blackshear.
Now you got to do it all again.
It worked. That was perfect. That was perfect timing. It worked. $136 for Damon Blackshear, and his fight with Farid Basharat is now official. That was perfect rain dance effectiveness. Basically, it summoned, as soon as it was done, it summoned a fighter to the scale. That is why we do this.
So, Jose, you haven't seen the Left Behind episode of Last of Us, right?
Is that the one where we're in the mall?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it. But obviously, I know the lore and the story of it.
Okay.
I just
so you played the DLC?
No, Julia's played the DLC, but I watched her play it. Like, let me rephrase. I helped her beat levels.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
She did the story part. You did the action part. All right, gotcha.
No, I did. To her credit, this is like one of the few games I think that she beat 90% of it. But there was somewhere it was that level, one where this like creepy guy is like stalking Ellie around, and you have to like hide and like hit him from behind and knock him out. And then a level where it was like one of those big brute like infected people, and she had no ammo or nothing. So I could just like throw things at him. And then I think is when they were in the school, like the college, and you have to like lurk around and like throw bottles so all the infected run over to another side. Then you got to like sneak away. So I had to do like I think 2 or 3 levels. But she beat most of it.
On normal difficulty or easy?
Whatever the default.
Normal, yeah. Yeah, I go normal. Some of my friends, they're like, they always go like the harder expert. And then Esther, she goes easy, just straight storyline.
Whatever.
No, it's funny. I like it.
Gentlemen, can we talk about the UFC 285 co-main event? Can we talk about the UFC 285 co-main event?
Go back to Marathon.
Because, listen, a lot of people are not giving Alexa Grasso a chance. I don't think anyone's complaining about her getting the title shot. I think it was her or Manuel Fiorot. Obviously, Blanchfield, they want to see her get it in the future. She wasn't just going to jump into this opportunity. So, and Grasso's been around. She's been a name that the UFC has been trying to build for a long time. 115 clearly was not her weight class. It just wasn't.
I mean, it was for a while, but she started when she was like 20, 22. She just outgrew it. Yeah, and it just there's always that awkward phase where she was like a 120 fighter and wasn't big enough for flyweight, too big for strawweight. And I think a lot of people kind of it really hurt her career because she couldn't kind of make a decision. But
plus we saw her limitations there. She faced 2 really strong wrestlers in like Carla Esparza and Tatiana Suarez. I got the Esparza fight, I guess, wasn't terrible, but Suarez obviously. I mean, I guess there's no shame in getting run through by her either. But
and how long ago was that?
It was a while ago.
She missed weight before. Was it her that missed weight or Claudia that missed weight? They're supposed to fight on the Conor Calloway card.
It was Grasso that missed weight.
Yeah, Grasso she came in like 5 pounds over, so the commission didn't let her fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But look, 125, undefeated so far, 4-0. Again, really no one complaining about the title shot. But that doesn't mean a lot of people are necessarily giving her a chance. Jose, let me ask you, how does Alexa Grasso win this fight?
How does Alexa Grasso win this fight? I think what separates Alexa from maybe some of Valentina's previous opponents is Alexa has won fights with, her submission skills. I'm not saying she's high level submission, but like when she goes to the canvas, she's not a fish out of water.
I know.
Like she obviously has the submission win over JoJo. She's also been submitted obviously by Tatiana Suarez, but who hasn't? I think I don't want to say. I don't know how to phrase this. Like Valentina's last few opponents seem like Lauren Murphy and Jessica Andrade. I think Jessica Andrade was just too small. I still think she's a little too small for flyweight. Jennifer Maia did well, and Tyler Santos did well because, like, in moments. I just think Alexa is a better, like she can mix her skills, if that mix the martial arts maybe a little bit better.
I've heard that phrase before. I've heard that phrase before,
Yeah.
yes.
Mix the martial arts a little bit
Mhm.
better, and I think her boxing is obviously, I'm not saying she's world class, she's not doing gold gloves or anything, but I think she's a striker that Valentina can't overlook. If that makes sense, because she can, pick up the pace, and she can also, like, if you want, like that Carla fight, the Karolina Kowalkiewicz fight, like those are wars. Like she's not just like, I think she beat Carla. I think Casey, I think I watched that fight with you.
Oh no, I thought Alexa beat Carla.
Yeah, I thought Alexa won. That was a war.
It was super competitive, but I did think Alexa won. Yeah, it wasn't.
But she's one of those fighters that, like, yeah, she could be getting hit a lot, but she's still pushing. So I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say, because I'm picking Valentina should win, but I'm on record picking Alexa just because. I just don't know why. You
wouldn't be shocked if Grasso won a decision. Yeah.
Casey, how do you see it? Let's fast forward. Oh, hold on. It looks like we have someone coming in. Jose, am I crazy or
Ciryl?
Is he just okay?
Oh,
it is Ciryl.
Jon Jones is a sleepy guy. Look at that man. The camera's scared to focus on him.
I know. It's annoying.
That is what we call diesel.
See, this is the thing. Like, my whole thing about Jon at heavyweight. Like, Ciryl looks like a heavyweight. Jon looks like a light heavyweight that hit the weight room.
Heavyweight champion and now the number one contender, Ciryl Gane. The official weight for Ciryl Gane.
247.5 for Ciryl Gane. That's pretty in line with what he weighs in for his fights. So no huge surprises there. And he looks fantastic. So Casey, same question to you. Listen, let's fast forward and somehow, let's say we're picturing Alexa Grasso has UFC gold around her waist. How did this happen? Casey? What led to this?
Why I talk about that? Well, I will go ahead and replay this. So how does Alexa win?
How does Alexa win?
It sounds cheesy, but she's a complete martial artist, and I think she's a better pure boxer. So if she can keep this fight in boxing range and stop and don't get taken down by Valentina, there's a clear path to victory.
I did. That was awesome.
Okay, never mind. Jose thinks out of the mic. Alexis, I think she's hitting her prime. She's 29 years old. She's been a professional fighter for, I think, almost 10 years now. And I think now she's like just fighting in her actual full woman body now, and she's not like this young girl fighting now. She's a grown woman, grown muscles. And I think Valentina is facing the best Alexa Grasso we've ever seen, and just great timing by Grasso. And I think she has a really good opportunity tomorrow to dethrone the champ. So I think everyone's kind of waiting for the Valentina Blanchfield fight, but man, Grasso's right there. I think she's super dangerous. I think Blanchfield in the end is the better fighter. I'll pick Blanchfield over all three of them. I mean, all two of them. Right now, I'm just that high on Blanchfield, but Grasso, if she fights, I don't even say a perfect fight, but if she fights, 90% to her abilities, she can definitely win the fight. But Valentina's Valentina too. She's kind of like Jon Jones in the sense that even when she fights her, even in her off nights, she still wins. So.
Yeah, exactly. That to me again. That's why the Santos case was like.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the Santos thing was so impressive to me because I think she clearly wasn't her best that night. Santos was fantastic that night and arguably did enough to win. But again, when you're the champ, you find ways to just get enough on the scorecards,
just
which
get
is
enough.
what Valentina did to retain. And again, Jon Jones, same with Thiago Santos, and to a lesser degree, again, Dominic Reyes. Some people don't think he did enough, but the official result of both those Jon Jones fights was successful title defenses. Same with Valentina.
And regardless, even if I thought Jon lost those fights, they were incredibly competitive. I'm not saying they were like blowouts or robberies. Like, how could anyone see it that way? Nothing like that. I just thought, Reyes won. I thought Santos won, but the Reyes I was much more confident with. But yeah, that's how I see that fight. Turn my camera a little bit.
Yeah, and again, I want to say for anyone who might have only caught half this conversation, I was asking Jose and Casey not for their pick, but how can Alexa Grasso win? Because I think obviously all three of us are sort of would, if we had to put money on the line. Of course, you go with the champ. Going to her 8th title defense, has just again coming off the toughest fight of her career, but before that, boy, pretty much handling everyone in the division. I mean,
yeah, maybe not the most exciting fights a lot of times. Sometimes Valentina just steamrolls them. Sometimes Valentina just, all right, I'm just going to get my W and do my dance and collect my check and, then travel the world like she does.
And that's all you got to do in this business. Listen, that's why she is who she is. She goes in there and takes care of business. And but yeah, who knows? Is Alexa Grasso catching her at the right time? I like the point you made about physical maturity is a big deal in MMA. Again, we talk about athleticism and as much as it's fun to like talk about striking skills and technique and wrestling ability and jiu-jitsu and all that, it's like sometimes just like athleticism and maturity is a huge factor. The Grasso of today is not just obviously a better fighter skill-wise than she was, 3 years ago. Her physical capabilities are probably significantly more than they were 3 years ago when she was 26. She's now a 29-year-old woman. Yeah. And that matters. That matters when you're facing someone like Shevchenko, who is fully in her prime.
And also compared to when she say even 5 years ago, the sport of MMA has grown, especially outside of America, especially in Mexico. So now, honestly, Alexa has better coaches now. She has better training partners now in Mexico. Like, there are really good coaches, like jiu-jitsu guys who train down in Mexico now. And so the people she's working with are much better now too. So her resources are just so much more readily available now than what she had just a few years ago. And that's
her uncle is her coach.
Yeah. And the more
UFC's welterweight division, he is undefeated. He is the future in Garry.
Ian Machado, Garry. Are they not acknowledging the Machado? I feel like he's been pretty insistent on wanting to be called Ian Machado, Garry.
Yeah,
but
I respect it.
I do too.
171, the official weight for Ian Garry.
171 for Ian Machado, Garry, and his bout with Song Kanan is now official.
Oops, what happened to the song?
Someone, David Sandine, was asking, can we get a main event poll? The people asked, listen, I gave you a main event poll. I threw it up there. Who wins the main event, Jon Jones or Ciryl Gane? The results of the last poll, when Stipe Miocic returns, does he get the UFC 285 main event winner? 70% yes.
What was the question? Sorry.
Does Stipe get the winner? Does he just come back and get the winner of this main event? Does he just walk back into a tough fight? 70%.
I hate that. He lost. He got knocked out in his last fight.
Casey, people have spoken.
Ugh.
The people have spoken. I sent
So
it
so did Kamaru Usman. You don't want that fight?
I don't like. I love rematches. I don't like direct rematches unless like something crazy happened, like a Machida Shogun one.
Fight would be neither Jon or Ciryl would be a rematch.
No, what? Sorry,
No, he's saying you don't like
rematch.
rematches, but Stipe would be walking into a title fight, but not a rematch. He wouldn't be getting a rematch.
I don't like people getting title fights off like big losses, like Stipe had, and I don't like the Leon Usman fight either. Even though obviously it's exciting and like cool, I want to see it. I just don't like direct rematches off knockout losses, basically. Non-controversial losses.
Yeah, it's a funny story.
But I get it's prize fighting. I get it. It's prize fighting, so.
going to draw more eyeballs theoretically than Curtis Blades or Sergey Pavlovich. Though I think Sergey Pavlovich is, I don't know. I feel like, this is just, I don't want to get into the whole thing about criticizing the UFC's promotional skills, but like, I feel like a guy like Sergey could be a pretty big star based on his highlight reel and the fact that he's also a friggin' unit like Ciryl. Blades, I like, but I don't know if he's just lacking that mainstream appeal for whatever reason. But
I was watching just because I love rewatching him every once in a while. Primetime episodes, and I was watching an primetime episode with GSP versus Condit, and it really made me miss those days. I got a bit nostalgic. I missed the days when that was an incredibly big fight, and neither of them talked crap. They were everything in it was very straightforward. Like Carlos was very like, GSP is great. I'm just gonna go out there, I'm prove him wrong. I'm gonna shock the world. People don't know, But there wasn't like, GSP sucks, it was like, and GSP was very GSP, like, and it was this incredibly big fight, and it had so much drama, and like it didn't need any trash talk, and I missed that.
Yeah, and listen, combat sports has always had trash talk. I mean, we're not saying it didn't exist. Combat sports, again, MMA, so much of it comes from pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is, you cut promos with people, you talk trash about them. But you're right, there is something different about it in the post McGregor era. It certainly is changed. It's more frequent. The post Chael Sonnen era, of course. And listen, talk about a guy who took stuff from pro wrestling, right? I mean, so there you go. And then the problem is you have people trying to be Chael, you have people trying to be Conor, you have people trying to be, I don't know, Ronda, whoever. And it's just, you just can't do it. And it's just led to sort of some of these awkward.
And that's why I appreciate like Sergey Pavlovich. He's like, I don't just show his highlights, show the man doing some deadlifts, and like, all right, that's the guy I want to see. I don't need him saying, fake storylines and stuff. I don't know. I kind of got off on a tangent.
Oh no, listen, totally understandable. Casey, should we go to some questions? Should we go to questions? Let's see. Maybe this will shake out. Obviously, I should say we are waiting for Jon Jones, of course, Geoff Neal, Amanda and
you thought Jon Jones was gonna be the first fighter. Look at you.
I said, listen,
90 minutes later.
I am the prince of positivity. I thought that this delinquent would finally do something for the people and show up on time. But listen, let me plug some of my own stuff first. I did just write an article about previous UFC fighters coming back into immediate title shots. So that includes like George St. Pierre coming in to fight for the middleweight title, Ronda Rousey coming back from over a year to fight. There was their immediate rematch, for example. Conor McGregor coming back from the whole boxing thing to immediately fight Khabib. Anyway, the article is MMAfighting.com, just sort of going over the past and what this can mean for Jon Jones coming up on Saturday. So check that out. But Joseph Boza, what are their thoughts on Sergey Pavlovich being in town as a backup tomorrow? One way or another, we will leave tomorrow with a world heavyweight champion crown. We don't know that. We don't listen. Before the Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev fight, I'm sure a lot of us thought, at least, you know what? Whatever happened with Yuri, at least we'll finally have a light heavyweight champion again. And it doesn't really work that way, does it? So Joseph, let's not.
Yeah.
To quote the great Jose Youngs, nothing is official until both men are in the cage. We have a lot. Jon Jones hasn't even weighed in yet, and I don't think he's going to miss weight. I don't think anything funny's happening. I think he's just taking his time. But let me just put it this way: we have not even played the official music for Jon Jones, Ciryl Gane. Let's not start saying, we'll have a UFC champion again tomorrow. We don't know that. King Midas says, there needs to be talk. How much interest would there be if you didn't talk about anything contentious? Like, what if you just talked about how you respected each fighter? No, and listen, we said it comes from pro wrestling. You have to build up a fight. You have to build up a match or whatever. But there's other ways. George St. Pierre never talked crap about anybody, and he's one of the biggest selling draws in UFC history. Now he is probably the exception that proves the rule. And then you have to look outside North America. Obviously, Fedor was enormously successful in Japan.
I completely disagree with King Midas, but I get what you're saying because Demetrius Johnson, no one talks shit about him. He didn't talk shit, and none of you guys cared when he fought. And we knew he was the best.
But that's what King Midas is saying.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I disagree with what he's saying, but I get it.
Yes.
Because those are the like, I'm a fan. No matter what, I'm always a fan. And you are a fan too. And I'm not a bigger fan than you are. And for me, I don't need that, but for you, you need that, Mm-hmm. And that's all. I don't know.
Yeah, and not just like,
and it's just fans want different things. That's it. But they want different things. Like I don't care. I care very little.
People like drama. People like drama. And there's all different kinds of drama, but I guess in combat sports, the easiest drama to generate is I hate this guy and he's a piece of poop. And then the other guy's, no, I hate you more and you're a piece of poop. And there you go. That is the basis of so many.
Who is the bigger piece of poop?
Who is
We'll
the
find
bigger
out
piece
Saturday.
of poop? Who's the bigger piece of poop? Tune in Saturday. UFC 285.
We're paying $80 to see who the bigger piece of poop is. That's who's the real suckers here.
I wish they still named UFC events, because at some point we'd have gotten like UFC 285 Dookie or something like that, and then that would have been. It's a shame. It's a shame we lost.
I do miss those days. I
miss those. And one championship now has abandoned that as well. One championship is now just numbers. Duel of Dragons.
Yeah.
One championship, Island of Mystery. That was so cool.
They ran out. They ran out. Like no one could think of anything.
It didn't run out. There's infinite permutations of mystery and dragon and fire and island and warriors and come on, people. We're not putting in the effort. I thought. Okay.
What was the last UFC event that had a name?
Jose. Let's go to Jose. Jose, what do you got?
That's wow.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I think it was around the late 90s. I mean, like not the 90 UFC pay-per-view 90s.
Yeah, it has to be before.
It was like Renegade or something.
I'm going so far back right now.
Oh, I mean, are we counting like tough finales?
No, not tough finales. I'm talking pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Like where they're called by not the main event, but just
I'm like racking my brain. I'm like in my head. I'm like counting them, like the ones that I actually remember. There's a bunch of them just blur together for me.
Okay, I think I found it, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep going.
I know, like UFC 112 was the Anderson Damian Maia one. That was like UFC Invincible.
Correct.
That's
okay.
That's the last one I remember.
Oh.
All right. Here comes Mana Martinez. We'll continue this discussion. People in the comments, if you know.
Ooh.
137. He did not even attempt to bring out the box of redemption.
He pointed at his wrist and saying, I still got time. That's what it seems
like.
Yeah,
I think he's saying just give me the extra 2 hours.
Yeah,
okay.
But I still got to mark it red, Mr. Martinez.
Yeah, it's for now.
Sorry, and Mr. Martinez, I hate to do this, but...
Ouch! That fight with Cameron Simon is not official yet. That is true. We need that. That's good music. So 137 for now. He looks like he was just kind of coming up, like he knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, because he didn't take his trunks off or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the official scale read. Maybe his scale back there was saying something different.
He will not be attempting it.
Oh, okay. I'm totally wrong. All right. Well, don't listen to me. Thank you, Jose. Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Sorry, guys. I interrupted Jose there if you didn't hear. Yes, Amanda Martinez will not be cutting weight, so we'll just wait to hear if the fight is official, and Cameron Simon likely taking 20% of his purse. But no, we don't know yet, but we do know he's not cutting weight.
Oh, that's a bummer. All right.
You know what? I'm actually going to change this tweet. You know what? I just don't tell America. I just deleted a tweet. Don't tell America.
Do you pay the $8, $9 a month, right, to edit your tweets or whatever? What is it? $7 a month.
I would hope Vox Media. I would hope does for MMAfighting.com. I would hope because I'm editing tweets left and right. No, I just deleted. Sorry, Martinez. Wait.
Okay, we got a question. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. He will not attempt. He'll not make a second attempt. Sorry, guys. You guys are seeing how the sausage is made. Just reading out my tweets how I'm writing. Okay, I'm sorry. What do we have on screen here? What's your hype level for UFC 285? Really, we should ask the people this. But, I mean, listen, I'm at like a 9 point.
We're talking the pay-per-view card, right? Because those are two separate things, right? The hype level of the pay-per-view card? Yeah, okay.
I'm 10 out of 10 for the entire card.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, how can you not be, right? I was gonna say I'm like a 9.7, 9.8, but I'm not sure why I'm holding back because I'm supposed to be the prince of positivity. Like the only thing that would hold me back is like the fear that something happens to one of the big fights, and I shouldn't think that way. That's no way.
I'm a solid 8.5. I would say this is the card I would tell my very casual MMA friends, hey, you want to come over and watch the fights? This is one of those cards. So I give it an 8.5. And it's a great card.
8.5?
Yeah.
Casey, that is harsh. That's too harsh.
What do you mean it's harsh? What? I don't know any 9s. Like if this was Blanchfield, then it goes 9.5. But if it's a great card, it's a great card. This is the card that's worth the money.
You would be more excited for Valentina Blanchfield?
Yeah. Even though Grasso deserves it, but timing wise, Blanchfield wasn't ready and Grasso was ready, so it makes sense.
I can't follow. I hate Jon Jones as a human being, but I am intrigued. I am unquestionably intrigued.
That's why I got 8.5, man.
That's a 9 minimum for me. That's probably 9.5. Like I'm probably closer to Jose is.
You don't know my standards, man. You don't know my standards. Give me another card, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
So you have to base it on those scores.
That's right. That's right.
I think Valentina Aaron Blanchfield is not competitive right now.
Oh. Wow, that's a whole lot. Okay, what was your anticipation for? Makhachev and Volkanovski, Casey.
Makhachev, Volkanovski.
That card. Maybe that whole card. It wasn't like a super deep card.
Oh yeah, because it was a very one fight. Yeah. That card kind of.
That card fell apart. That card fell apart though. It was a good card.
Well, that's UFC has too many fights, so they watered down the roster, so they can't fill it up. That's on them.
So you what though? People in
I'll give it that was a 6.5. Just for, I didn't think the timing for Islam Volk was right. That's all. We talked about that. Like I love to see 1 versus 2 pound for pound, but I just didn't think the time was right. The rematch now for the rematch though, if each of those gentlemen gets a win in their respective divisions,
it's gonna be my prediction for when that rematch does happen is International Fight Weekend next year, UFC 300.
But would Volk need to defend against Yair, or would he need to? So Volk's still gonna get another title shot at 55 with never beating a 55er. That we're okay with that?
Yes, I'm in favor of if a champion changes weight, they skip the queue in any weight class, not just Bowman.
Oh, I'm so not in favor of that.
I'm not going to argue against it, but like if Jon was the champion and he went up to heavyweight, I'd be like, yeah, sorry.
I want to go back to the event's name.
He gets one shot. He gets only one shot, I think, and Volk missed it.
The event's name. We had 2 people chime in, which I believe this is the most recent. UFC 125. Jose, do you recall UFC 125 at all?
I don't. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Oh, UFC 109. Relentless. That was I think that was like.
I can't see who it is. 125, I think it was Frankie Edgar on the card, but I don't remember who he fights.
Yeah, he's the Frankie Edgar, the first title fight with Gray Maynard, I want to say.
Ooh,
so Frank Edgar Maynard 2, I believe.
Everyone's standing, so I think it might be. Oh, here he is, man. Yeah.
All right, next athlete to the stage is the man on whom this fight card was built, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, making his heavyweight debut, Jon Jones.
Oh boy.
That is a heavyweight Jon Jones.
248. 248 for Jon Jones. Slightly. He's hitting the poses. Look at him. He's hitting the poses. Slightly heavier. Half a pound heavier than Ciryl Gane. Do we think he wanted to wait to see Ciryl weigh in first? And then he's like, guys, like, hold on, I'm just gonna eat some stuff till I'm just a little bit over, just to one up him on the scale.
You know what? He was wearing the full sweatpants, so I think literally they weighed the same.
That fight is now official.
Oh, where did Lisa go? Oh.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Listen, Jon Jones is back. He gets the special extra flourish. All right.
Our main event is official.
It is official. Jon Jones is listen, he is officially. This is the first time we've ever seen this after over a decade of speculation. We have seen Jon Jones officially make his way. And again, the fight, yes, we're still a day away. He is 248.
So
there you go, as a heavyweight.
we are seeing him 43 pounds heavier than the last time we saw him weigh in.
How many? Say it again.
43 pounds heavier.
Yes, that's right. 43 pounds heavier.
43 pounds heavier.
That's considerable.
That's a Hezbollah size. That's a Hezbollah inside him.
Hezbollah weighs way up.
Yeah, that's a few Hezbollahs.
That is way under.
Sorry, I just want to put everyone. I was saying UFC 125. Thank you to the. Oh, I had their names in the comments, guys. I have to give credit where credit's due. I'm sorry, guys. I had you, and now I lost it. And then we started talking about Hezbollah, and I just blacked out. It was Ryan Roberts and Andrew Schwartz. Thank you in the YouTube comments. UFC 125 resolution. And ironically, the fight was not resolved because it ended in a split. Edgar ended in a split draw, and then they rematched. Of course, this was just like a UFC. Which one was knockout? UFC 76 knockout. 0 knockouts on the card.
Yeah. UFC 112 invincible. Yeah.
You can't make this up. But it does look like 125 was the last time. So that's a long time ago. We have lost our charming event names. So we are all just waiting on Jeff Neal now. We said Madame Martinez will not be weighing in again. What do you think, Jose? What do you think? Jon Jones, 248 official.
Big boy.
Yeah. True.
That's my official assessment.
And it's accurate, on point. Casey?
Don't like it. I've never liked Jon Jones at heavyweight. I don't like Jon Jones at this heavy. I think Jon Jones around 225, 230, which basically is his light heavyweight frame, just no weight cut. That's what I prefer to see him at. But yeah, this sounds like it's that plus another 20 pounds of deadlifts and squats. So we will see. From day one, I've not been a fan of Jon Jones bulking up at heavyweight. I don't mind him going to heavyweight without not bulking up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he looked fine. I'm not. I didn't really necessarily agree with all of the people sort of analyzing the promo photos and like, yeah, look, he doesn't look like. Looks
we're
like
waiting on just Jeff Neal. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was not talking to me. Sorry, guys. I'm writing something as I comment here. I apologize. Yeah.
Sorry, I just got a little nervous because I'm super excited for Shavkat and Jeff Neal. Actually, I know Jed is all about Gamrot Turner, which I love that fight, but I've been on the Shavkat kind of hype train for a while, and so if Jeff Neal somehow cannot make the cage, I'll be so bummed. But so I'm hoping Jeff Neal is just looking for a parking spot right now. And
I didn't even think about that.
Because these guys the later they come in, that means it's bad things. They may make weight, but it's the hydration process.
You don't know. It's in Vegas. He could just be on the slots right now. He could be he could have the hot hand at the slots right now. It's like, guys, not right now. Come on, now
not right now.
I'm at like 160. I'm at 169. Don't worry about it. I'm 169. Leave me alone.
Good.
I'll be there and I'll jog over. Yeah, but the Jon Jones heavyweight thing. No, I agree, Casey. I think there's something. I remember when he first started putting out all those like remember the bodybuilding pictures? He was like super jacked, and I'm like, is that like is that functional? Like, is that something you want to be when you go up to heavyweight? Like
that, and that's something like we've always said. Like if there's any sport, like you can't judge kind of a book by its cover, like how fighters look. Like otherwise, freaking
William Knight would still be in the UFC right now.
Yeah, he'll be the
scariest MFR I've ever seen, and it just doesn't quite come together for him in the cage, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's not a bodybuilding contest.
We're going to bet on Lana Martinez. He will forfeit 30% of this.
30.
30.
All right, guys. John Anik coming in saying Mana Martinez forfeiting 30% of his purse. And listen, good for you, Cameron Simon, for accepting that fight and getting what you can get. I hate to see. I'm not saying I'm happy to see a fighter lose money, but if you're Cameron Simon and you're the one that's, theoretically at a disadvantage, you should negotiate for what you can get, right? If you can get 30% instead of 20%, good for you.
So say it, AK. That fight is now.
Yes. So, but do we play the? Okay.
Well,
the fight between Mana Martinez and Cameron Simon will now become a catchweight bout, and it is now official. That didn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right, but it is official. I mean, do we need another song like an official catchweight fight song, like sound cue? I don't know. We'll talk about the meeting Monday.
This is a meeting for after the weekend. Yeah. Sorry, I just want to let people on Twitter know. Martinez versus Simon. Excuse me. We'll just imagine the song that would be playing. If you have suggestions for the catchweight song, we're all ears. Thank you everyone in the comments today, by the way. The comments have been really good today. Okay, great. Some Ukno Zeke saying, I have Cameron Simon or parlay. Should I be worried now? No, Ukno Zeke, there actually isn't a strong correlation between people missing weight and winning fights. That's actually a huge myth. Generally, if someone misses weight and then they win, they were a favorite anyway. I'm not saying it never happens, but it's like it's not like 75% of the time or 80% of the time someone misses weight and they win the fight. I think there was a stretch of like
I remember there was a stretch where like when like 12 guys in a row or something.
Yeah,
the
but even then,
won.
Nominally. Our pal Mike Chiappetta, who used to write for the site, did a breakdown. Even then, during that stretch, like 10 of those 12 fights, the people were already favored. So it was like the favored fighter won, and they just missed weight. Like so, but it became this whole thing online. It's like, oh, you missed weight, you're definitely going to win. And there was like a very brief correlation, but if you actually looked at the numbers, like, yeah, again, you could argue, oh, they have the size advantage. You could also argue they clearly had some problem with their weight cut and probably aren't 100%. Yeah. Jeff Neal.
Welterweight contender in the world champ, hands of steel, Neal.
Oh, he doesn't. Boxer shame?
No, not yet.
Oh. Oh, you're right.
Wait.
Whoa. 175.
Ooh. All right. Sorry,
That's a 4-pound weight miss. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. One more for
you.
Yeah, that's a double. That's double. Sorry, that weight miss is so large, yeah. Whoa, jeez. Man. Poor Shavkat. That's not, I mean, jeez.
I mean, there's a very good chance this fight doesn't happen. Jose, right? What's the policy here? Is there a limit in Vegas?
I think so. That's last I heard, but I'll tell you in a second.
That won't exceed the limit, that's for sure.
Okay.
But that might exceed Shavkat's team's how comfortable they are with that weight miss.
That's the official weight.
Yeah, I figure, yeah. Just so we're done with weigh-ins.
We are done with the weigh-ins, guys. Casey, I'll do a rundown. I'm sorry. I apologize, everyone. I kind of froze there for a second. I just that's a big weight miss. It really affected me personally. Should we? I guess we got to do. Because
yeah, like he went 172. I'll be like, all right, whatever. 175. That's
tough. We know Geoff. I'm not assuming it's related, but we know Geoff has had some health problems in the past. I don't know if it had anything to do with this weight cut, but either way, 175 officially does not sound like he'll be weighing in again. But we will update you guys if that does happen. And even if he does weigh in again, I can't imagine him making 171.
No, he's done. This guy's gone. He's done.
175 is a they got down to a certain point and then stopped cutting weight. Like you're not going to make it stop cutting weight. It's not like he probably could have made like 172.5 if he like killed himself, and there's just no point in that. So they said 175.
Well, then he killed himself and not actually make the fight tomorrow. He definitely got to the point where like, all right, if I cut more weight, I will not pass the medicals after my weigh-in and won't actually be able to fight. So, yeah. All right. You ready? When we pull out the piano?
Yeah. Let's hold on. Okay, let's do this.
3, 2, 1.
Guys, Jon Jones is a heavyweight. Officially, as of this morning, Jon Jones is a heavyweight, coming in 248 pounds for his heavyweight debut. His opponent, Ciryl Gane, 247.5, half a pound less, and they will be fighting for the vacant UFC heavyweight championship on Saturday. In the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso both coming in at 124.5. Shevchenko looking to defend her title for the 8th consecutive time. She's going to fill up that belt. She's going to get that last ruby. We just saw Neal come in at 175 for his fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov. Rakhmonov 171. We don't know if the fight will still go through. So that is not official yet, but we'll update you on the social medias on MMAfighting.com as soon as possible. Also on the main card, Mateusz Gamrot weighing in 156 for his fight with Jalin Turner, 155.5, and Jamie Pickett 186 for his fight with the debuting blue chip prospect, multiple-time NCAA wrestling champion Bo Nickal, 185.5. The featured prelims, these former UFC champion Cody Garbrandt coming in at 136 for his fight with Trevin Jones, who came in at 135. Derek Brunson, who's on stage right now, looks like he's getting his USADA jacket, came in 185.5 for his fight with Dricus du Plessis at 185. Viviane Araujo, 126 for her fight with strawweight contender, really two-division threat, Amanda Ribas, also at 126. Julian Marquez at 186 for his middleweight bout with Marc-André Barriault, 185. Welterweights Ian Machado, Garry, and Sang Kanan, both at 171. Our other weight miss of the day, Mana Martinez, coming in 137 for his bantamweight bout with Cameron Simon at 135. Veteran strawweight Jessica Penne, 116 for her fight with Tabitha Ricci, who came in 115.5. Farid Basharat, his UFC debut, he's coming in at 136 for his fight with Damon Blackshear, also 136. And former PFL fighter Loic Radzhabov coming in on short notice at 155.5 to fight Esteban Ribovic, 156. That applause was also for Derek Brunson receiving his USADA milestone jacket. Good for him. Clean fighter.
Yeah.
And that's it. Guys, you'll see more from us later today and on Saturday. Of course, we will have the preview show around 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon local time, noon West for you West Coasters specific. Who else? We have Brand Ortega coming up too. Looks like he's getting a jacket as well.
All right. Everyone's getting jackets.
Everyone's getting a jacket. Anyway, guys, I'm sure you can find this footage later on UFC. I don't know if it'll be on our YouTube, but we'll see. We'll see if anything. Jose is there keeping track of everything. You won't, as long as Jose Youngs is on site, you will not miss anything. So thank you, Jose, for the video. Thank you, Casey, for the production. And yes, we'll have the preview show later today, Q&A tomorrow. And don't forget, we will have ceremonial weigh-in coverage this evening as well. But thank you, everyone. And peace out.
Oh, and before we leave, instead of just going to the credits, I'm going to show you a little video package that me and Shaheen did last week about the return of a certain king.
Stay tuned in, please. Stay tuned in. It's very short.
Thanks for watching.
I'm going to kickbox the snot out of him. Simple as that.
Would you move up to heavyweight, Jon?
I'll definitely move up to heavyweight. It'll probably be around 2013, maybe at the end of 2013. Right now, I have a nutritionist, and I'm starting to take the career a lot more serious than I used to. So my weight cuts are getting a lot easier. I walk around a lot thinner naturally. So like right now, I'm like 225. You know, that's a 20-pound cut. That's really easy. So I might look bigger than most people when I'm fighting, but I'm really not, guys.
11 years. Can you believe it? How many fight weeks can it be said we've been waiting for 11 years? No, that's a different world ago. That's 4 fewer UFC divisions ago. That's no women in the UFC ago. Hell, that's like 3 different Jon Joneses ago. When this whole conversation started, Ciryl Gane was still 6 years away from even considering MMA. And that's the funny thing about UFC 285, isn't it? That 23-year-old kid, he already knew. Before all the wins and records and late-night controversies, before all the arrests and suspensions and kicks to the guts of the legacy, before DC and DUIs and PEDs, Jon Jones knew. his road to MMA immortality, the difference between being another name on a list and standing alone atop that mountain, it always went through heavyweight. It's been a long time, hasn't it? More than 3 years since that miracle in Houston, that fateful night when he escaped by the skin of his teeth and Dominic Reyes could have ended an era. So much has happened, it may as well be a lifetime. That was a whole pandemic ago. That was 50 pounds and 2 arrests ago. That was 4 different UFC light heavyweight champions ago. And that's the other thing about UFC 285, isn't it? This decision, 11 years in the making, it is coming at a time when Jones is more vulnerable than ever before. Jon Jones hasn't looked like Jon Jones in a while. Let's be honest about that. And maybe that shouldn't come as a surprise. He's always been his own worst enemy. Hit and runs and police body cams, anabolic steroids and handcuff nights. How long, realistically, could this last? When it comes to controversies, Jones is in a league of his own. He is, and always will be, the only fighter in UFC history to be stripped of his belt 3 different times. Eventually, the clock has to run out. Eventually, enough has to be enough. But those other records, they still hold up as well. 15 years unbeaten, 27 pro fights without a legitimate loss, 11 successful title defenses over 2 title reigns, tied for the most ever in UFC history. An inducted UFC Hall of Famer before he's even retired. Go ahead and try. You will not find a more complicated MMA legacy. Just think back to how this all started. 21 years old when he made his UFC debut, Jones was a revelation, a natural from the word go. Flashy and spectacular, impossibly long, flush with raw aggression, limbs like a spider, it was as if he was born to wear 4-ounce gloves. A blue chipper, unlike any who'd come before. Unrefined creativity at its finest. He was inevitable, overnight. The reckoning for a generation of legends at 205. Shogun Rua, Rampage Jackson, Rashad Evans, Lyoto Machida. Poor Lyoto. He never saw it coming. Every UFC champion before him ground into dust, a decade straight. Who really could stop MMA's one true king? No, Jones was one of the greatest of all time before the age of 30, and those were different days. The Golden Boy, the youngest champion in UFC history, the nice young man who stops a thief in the park the morning of his first title fight. Gustafsson, Belfort, Sonnen, Teixeira, Cormier, he was the first MMA fighter to even attract brands to the table like Nike and Gatorade. No, for all his faults, Jones was the Michael Jordan of MMA's 2010s. You just hoped you didn't have the bad luck of landing in his era. But is the king still the king? That's the question now, isn't it? At age 35, is Jon Jones still Jon Jones, or has the game moved on? The list of fighters who have won UFC titles at both 205 and heavyweight, it is 2 people long. Randy Couture and Daniel Cormier. Jones said he wanted to feel those nerves again. He wanted to feel fear again. That's why he took on this challenge. Well, here it is. After spending all these years laying the groundwork to prove once and for all that he is more than the sum of his physical gifts. Make no mistake, there is legacy on the line at UFC 285. 11 years after that first fateful promise, the time has finally arrived. What will the world say when we tell the story of the great Jon Jones? We'll all know soon enough.
What kind of tricks can we expect from you come Saturday night?
Well, yeah, I definitely started off my career learning how to fight on YouTube, and it really worked for me. Now that I'm training with this great coaching staff, they're just teaching me how to be a more conventional athlete, and definitely still expect the spinning back fists and anything wild like that. It's still definitely there. It's rooted deep in me, but I think you guys will see just a much more well-rounded athlete, and it's just going to be good. It's going to be great.
All right, well, the evolution of Jon Jones continues this Saturday night on Spike TV. Good luck, John.
Thanks, man.